Many times, viewers, we've talked about investment in Kenya, in the property market, and we've also mentioned that, yes, a lot of people, especially diasporans, goes for the residential market, but many of you have not thought of tourism in Kenya is rising up big time. So the makeup of villas and luxury apartments is a big thing, and is a market out there. And I'm glad today we've met with Nigel Rowley from Medina Palms. Thank you very much for joining us at UKENTV, Nigel. Tell us, who are Medina Palms?
Medina Palms is a collection of high-end residential facilities that showcase some of the best aspects of life in Kenya and some of the best skills in Kenya. Our vision was, if we can put all of the best of Kenya in one place at one time, then we can create something that is truly world-class, and that is what Medina Palms is. So
for you to come up with Medina Palms, you looked into the market and you knew what was needed. So, I mean, what is your property profile like? Because many people might not get it. You know, what is the property profile like?
I think we were delighted by the profile of the buyers from day one. When we originally launched it in the Serena Hotel, it was a nerve-wracking occasion when you put your life on the line and you put your vision on the line. But what was so reassuring was 11 Kenyans all purchased from us across the board, medium and high range units. And it was the sense of shared vision, that they understood what we were trying to achieve, that was the most exciting thing. So it was a wonderful evening, and that sharing of the vision is something which will always be very special.
So a customer like me, Janet, comes in, buy an apartment with Medina Palms, then what happens?
The concept is quite different, and it's designed around the market. The tourism market has become more sophisticated over the last 5 to 10 years, and when people travel around the world, they don't often like to stay in a development that is rather busy, in a traditional type of hotel. That's why, over time, boutique hotels have become particularly popular. That means that family groups can move around, and friendly groups can move around Kenya as they do to the wonderful lodges. But then when they come to the coast, they've always struggled to find a good location for their beach holiday. What we've created is a more personal space, so Medina Palms offers them more privacy and yet the ability to enjoy a high-end service level in a world-class destination on one of Kenya's great beaches.
So you do the management and everything?
Exactly. I think that's the most important part. Many people who have invested may never go there on a regular basis. And the reason they're investing is because we will manage the whole process, and we will market the Medina Palms penthouses, apartments and villas around the world. We will go to the big travel exhibitions and we will drive business there. When we drive business to this top location, that improves the rental yields for the owners who own the units.
Well, I think I'm going to let my viewers to watch the video a little bit. I think it's a very informative way of what Medina Palms do, and then we'll come back to the program. now you have a better understanding what Medina Palms is all about. But tell us, Nigel, from a personal perspective, why Kenya?
I guess I've been going to Kenya for 28 years, and the way I describe it is because I'm not a Kenyan and I don't live in Kenya, sometimes people who stand away from a particular situation can have a different perspective. I often say to my fellow Kenyans, my friends over there, you're married to Kenya. I have a different perspective. Sometimes when you're married to something, you get so close that you cannot always see the benefits or see some of the wonderful things. My perspective allows me to understand some of the great things that Kenya has to offer, and my job as a marketing person is to try and put all of those together in one place at one time, and my belief is if we can do that, then Kenya can be truly world-class. And there is nothing to fear. There's nobody in the world, whether they're from Dubai, whether it's Mauritius, whether it's Seychelles, nobody can do what Kenya can do. We can do sun, sea, sand like they can, but we also can do safari. And nobody can do all four.
Fantastic. So you've looked at the concept of Kenya and looked at all the things that Kenya can offer, and you found a business opportunity for you to go there. So how many Britons have you seen wanting to, or rather, when you're there engaging with other people, there are other private investors. What are they looking for? Do they buy into your idea? Do you have the competition? Or are you working together? Or what's going on there? Because I think Mombasa area is getting a lot of investment. What is the competition like?
I think it's good to have competition. I encourage competition. One of the things about being one of the first, which is what we were, is that it's always a difficult trail to push first through a particular situation. And what we've known now is other people have now come along, and the interesting point is the amount of investment that's going into the coast of Kenya is quite significant. Indeed, one of the wealth reports from Knight Frank recently reported that Nairobi is the best place on the planet to currently invest, and the coast of Kenya is number 2. Number 3 is Miami, and number 71 is Mumbai. So if you think of that world ranking, Kenya is truly world class, and they have voted it the best place to invest on the planet.
Very good. So you've done it right. You've totally done it right. And then let's take, for example, the government here. You know, they have been wanting to brand Kenya for a long time, or marketing Kenya abroad. You're coming from a different perspective, somebody who's bought into it. How can they actually market Kenya well to get the returns they're looking for, or to get the kind of property profile or tourist profile they're looking for? What can they do?
Well, I visited the Diaspora Conference recently, and I spoke at the Diaspora Conference, and one of the most enlightening parts of the whole day was the discussion and the presentation by Brand Kenya, because those people that spoke truly energized me, and they gave me great confidence, and because they believe in the same core values as I do. So I think Kenya is in good hands with Brand Kenya. I think it recognizes that we need to talk more about the positives. There are so many good things in Kenya that people need to speak about. Those are the prime things we all need to talk about, and therefore, with all those positive, with that positive energy, and with all the special preparation that Brand Kenya have done to present Kenya, I think Kenya has a bright future. Fantastic.
Now, for Medina Palms, what have you got? What products have you got in the market at the moment?
So what we have at the moment, there are 50 units altogether. The good news is we have sold 35 already, so that is very exciting. It's also an endorsement of the fact that people share our vision. And the idea really is that we have a product that will truly fulfill the wishes of the Vision 2030, to push coastal tourism high up market, to be able to compete like for like with anything else that's around the Indian Ocean, and to do it with confidence and pride, because we can outperform, we can beat, we can not just be the same, we can be better than. And if we can learn from this type of investment, if we can learn and do more of those investments, I think it can only be good for jobs. For example, we've created 350 jobs during our construction phase, and that generates income for people of around 2,000 people locally. So it's very much a project that should be encouraged, and other projects similar will also benefit the local communities. For example, for every house we sell, a percentage of our money goes back to local community projects. We use the very latest of green technology, as it's called. So we use solar hot water, we use LED lighting, which is low energy lighting. We use biodigesters to reprocess our water. So the very latest high technology has gone into the core of that product. and that will sustain the community for the future. It's not just about making money for a hotel. Money is going back into the community to help with local projects to make it a truly sustainable venture.
Fantastic. Now, I'm going to ask you finally, because you are a foreign investor in Kenya, what challenges have you faced?
I'm the sort of person that doesn't necessarily need government handouts to make things happen. So I think just like with any country, when you're investing there for the first time, there are always challenges. But what I liked about Kenya is there's a separate process that you should follow. It's well documented. There's good systems in place. There's good environmental legislation. There are good laws. And if you follow all the due process in the proper way, there's nothing to stop other investors coming in. So I actually feel that Kenya is a good place to invest because it's very clear-cut. More and more we're finding now that the governments are encouraging us to invest. So we're getting plenty of positive feedback from people like the tourism ministries. So I think it is a good place to invest, and I wouldn't expect government handouts because that's not the sort of person that I am. But I believe...
How can they make it easier for investors like you to actually move into Kenya and do your thing?
I think to continue the good message that Brand Kenya have started over the last several months, to continue investing in positive images of Kenya, to continue telling good stories about the tourism industry in Kenya. So it does mean, obviously, investing in advertising and promotion. That's a very, very important part. And then not just us who would benefit, but all the tourism industry would benefit. If you think Kenya has around 1.2 million visitors from overseas per year, and South Africa has 3 million, and I'm asking myself, why? You know, why? There's so much more that we have in Kenya. So if we could get a little bit more support in that particular area, it would certainly be a great help, although already we have spent, as a private company, a lot on marketing Kenya, because we have to sell Kenya first before we sell Medina Palms.
Wow, wow. Nigel, I am totally impressed by your passion about Kenya. I was thinking this is an interview about Medina Palms, but it has actually come out. Your passion for Kenya is live, you know, and that is quite impressive. How have you managed to put Kenya in your heart like that? What has happened to you? I
think if you approach a place with an open heart, sometimes you get touched. Not every place you go will touch you, but Kenya touched me, and I just kept coming back and coming back. And the more I've spent time in Kenya, the more I feel at home there, and the greater the friendships have grown. So although I'm not a Kenyan, I love Kenya, and maybe that's because I keep my heart open. And if more people did that, I think we'd get more investors as well. I'm really, really amazed, viewers, to actually talk to Nigel and hear what kind of passion he's got for Kenya. And as we've heard, Medina Palms have done a great project that many people never thought of. So for us, especially in the diaspora, sometimes we find there's no place you can call home where you can feel at ease when you go for holiday in Kenya. And most of us struggle to actually get that apartment that you feel this is where you go. I'm impressed. Yeah. I'm impressed. I am totally impressed. And this is a brand of investors we want in Kenya. Not people who just go to Kenya to get money or to get the returns out of their investment. People who actually go and feel they belong in Kenya. Therefore, the project they put in place will benefit not themselves only, but actually the Kenyan people. The Kenyan for the future is a Kenyan that cared for each other. And if we have our investors caring about the local people, that is the way forward. Thank you very much, Nigel, for your time and for the projects you've brought in place. Thank you.